Alright, what's up guys? So today we have the 2018 Softail Street Bob. So this is the first year of the Street Bob. Let me back up. So the year before you had the Street Bob that was on that Dyna platform, but this was the first year that the Street Bob was live and active on this newer Softail platform powered by that Milwaukee 8. So the newest Street Bobs you'll see today, such as the 22s or the Street Bob 114s powered by that 114 Milwaukee 8, but since this was kind of one of the first iterations of it, it was powered by that 107. So plenty of power for as small and as light as this bike is. Most distinguishable by the little fork boots there, helping protect those seals, and then you have a little bit smaller tires on this guy. So it's a little bit of a skinnier tire up here on the front, and it's also a relatively skinny tire here on the rear. You'll see. So pretty small bike overall. About a 3.5 gallon tank. You'll see these little mini 8 bars, and so far as upgrades on this bike, the biggest thing that we'll notice is that it does have the matching upgraded Harley-Davidson grips that happen to match perfectly with the pegs for both the rider and the passenger, and they even have the corresponding little shift knob there as well. So it's a gorgeously styled bike in that wicked red two-tone color there. Yeah, it's pretty snazzy. So we'll go ahead and fire it up here and go run around the block for you guys. See if it turn on, and this actually has that little upgraded clamp here. So that's where, kind of to keep it stripped down, that's where all the controls you'll find are, or the little displays. We are a little bit low on fuel, but that should be, so we are a little bit low on fuel on this guy, but that'll be plenty fine here. So we've got trip A, trip B, our fuel range, we get another 40 miles out of this. We're not going to take it that far, we should be fine. Then we have our clock, and then our RPMs. So, and you'll see a little fuel light on there, but we're just going to run down the street and back right quick. Stock exhaust, so not a very loud system, but should be enough to give us a little something there. This one does have a backrest for the passengers as well, just give them a little bit more comfier ride. So, with further ado, let's go and throw a leg over this bike and send it on down the way. Alrighty. Alright, so first thing we're noticing here is that it does have the mid controls, so that's going to give it a nice little ride here. Help us keep it nice and sporty. And we're going to go nice and slow here for our pedestrians. Oh yeah, so it's a good riding position. I'd probably roll these bars back just a tiny bit, just make it a little bit more comfy, but other than that, it's plenty good. I do like the mini 8 bars. I like that riding position it gives you. Throw some T-bars on this and that would be perfect. So the mirrors are up nice and high so I can see over my shoulders very well, see what's behind me there. So I like it. Standard Softail controls as the other ones. Oh, and one thing before I forget, this one does have the little USB port on the left side of the little neck there underneath the tank. So if you decide to go with the phone mount, which most likely you will at some point, unless you just are a baller and know where you're going all the time, and that'll be nice. So then you can plug your phone in while it's up there. So yeah, this thing's handling pretty well. I've heard some people complain. They say these bikes don't. I've heard one person say this bike didn't handle as well as they thought it should, but I think it's pretty good. Got a little skinny tire action there, so not much to it. It's just plain and simple. It's a Street Bob. Now, now this bike is actually kind of made to be to compare with the Softail standards. So the newer Softail standards on that Milwaukee 8 platform are, go ahead and stop. They're sort of the basic editions of this bike here. Well, at least now. So in 2022, you have the Street Bob 114s, and then you have the Softail standards, which are basically the 107 dialed back versions, whereas this one's kind of the little bit fancier one. You'll have a little bit better paints, colors, the graphics, and then you'll also have the 114 and a couple other little nicer features on it. But this one here is plenty good. But since this was one of the first years of it, they just had the 107 just to kind of build up to the 114 a little bit later on. I do like these grips. These grips are pretty good. They match the pegs beautifully. They look really good and they feel good. These mini 8 bars are nice, but like I said, I'd probably roll them back just a tiny bit, just to be a little bit more comfortable. Ooh, the bus is running. Getting those kids to campus. It does have the standard Softail controls. I'd probably throw a step-up seat on it. This seat here is not bad, but I'd like a little bit more to kind of keep me on it. Let's see how it does on the highway here. This bike's probably not going to spend much time on the highway, but you can with them. You can throw bags, little fairings on them, and a lot of people like them just because they're so easy to throw around. They're so easy and fun to throw around that a lot of smaller stature riders enjoy them and then just ride them everywhere. I like riding small bikes sometimes too because they're just so easy and fun. Yeah, let's see. So we're up to 4th gear. This is a 6-speed. Yeah, it's handling this beautifully. Alrighty. And throw it up in 6th gear. Oh yeah. 24,000 RPMs, about 65 miles an hour. She's just easy cruising. So, good riding platform. You throw some highway bars up on this. You can go ahead and stretch your legs out. And that'll be very nice. So, I do like the mid controls on these Softails just because it really lets me feel like I can swing this thing around wherever I want to. Big win on that. So, enjoy it quite a bit. I do like these headlights on these bikes. I like that little halo they have on it. I think it makes a little bit, I think it just keeps it classy, and I think it really helps with that visibility of the bike. So, yeah. And a lot of people, and the little fork boots up on the front, a lot of people love them or hate them. Personally, I think they look kind of cool. I think they give it a bobbier look for the bike. So definitely a lot of ways you can change the styles on this bike, but stock how it is, it's fantastic. It's a good motorcycle. So we're going to see how it does in the twisties of Avid Ferry here in just a minute. Especially if we make this light. That would be really cool. So it's got good braking. It is a single rotor on the front. No! A shame. Pop it up in neutral here and coast it on in. So, let's compare this thing to the Dyna Street Bob. We've rode the Dyna Street Bob, so now let's talk about how it compares to the Softail. The Softail is a little bit smoother. The Dyna is fantastic. It's great. Probably, I still think you can get really good sound out of it. But the Street Bob, the Softail, I like the mid controls. Those feel good. It doesn't shake as much. That's a big plus. And you go to that mono shock instead. So there's a little bit more you can do with it, I'd say. You've got the mono shock, so you can work with that really well. That's the biggest difference would be the shocks and the shocks in the motor. Yeah, this one's very good though. The bike does feel good. Feels like we're sitting up on it very well. Very good position. I definitely think that I can lean this bike pretty well. That's good. The spokes make it look nice, keep it nice and classy, I'd say. Yeah, you can really do a lot with these bikes. They're clean slates. This one does have I'm a sucker for a red bike. I think red looks really good. So gorgeous tank. You could do a lot with this bike. They're a color. Now, personally, I think a color matched Memphis Shades fairing with some T-bars. Throw a Since it's 107, we'll drop. Oh, we need a cam. There are 2-in-1 exhaust on it, black or stainless. Maybe a TBR or I guess we can just do Bassani. It'd be like everybody else. So Pro Move. Wow, that is backed up. Holy cow. That can't be good. Oh, but that's cool, maybe. No telling. So pro tip, if you see or hear a leaf blower or see one, go ahead and anticipate that there might be some leaves on the ground. I was driving through here the other day, and there was a good few leaves being blown around just on the next street over. So definitely want to be mindful of all that. So, but the power here is good. It's a light bike. Light bike, very smooth. The controls feel really well. We're about to try it here in the twisty, see what it does. Or the twistier, the less straight part of the road. Gorgeous fall foliage everywhere. Let's see. Oh yeah, real pretty. It's always fun to kind of see, go back through some of my older videos and really see how the foliage changes every week. Hey, sir. Nice to see your. You can just tell me that your favorite color is yellow. You don't have to show me by hugging the line there. So let's see, how does it do in the first turn? Okay. You come across this bike really well. Oh, yes you can. And get on our brakes. Alright. What in the heck is this? That's an odd way to whip in there. Throw a high beam on just in case. Boop. Yeah. So, fun little bit of riding there. This bike handles beautifully. I'm loving it. This bike is good. This bike is a good bike to ride. Power's there, no doubt. Got good power. I mean, it's a 107 on a super light bike, so what can you expect? And I think that 3.5 gallon tank is wonderful for a commuting bike. You know, if I didn't have a bike that was already a good medium for touring and town stuff, then I'd probably, but with somebody that had a large Road Glide Limited or something, or a bike that was just really big and not ideal for whipping downtown or something like that, you know, I'd probably snatch one of these up as a little second bike. This bike is fantastic for anyone. It's light. You know, if you're an experienced rider, lots of good power there. But if you're a new rider, you know, it's not too much you're going to be intimidated by, I think. You'll just have to learn it a little bit. I'm a 5'10" rider, and I've got plenty of room here to stretch my legs. Stock seat feels good. Lots of good stuff all around. I like the controls. Plenty easy to work with. Let's see. Ooh, we got a motorcycle. What we got? I don't know what that is. Yellow forks. Let's see. Yeah, this thing whips. This thing whips and rips. Oh, yeah. Let's whip it down Trailwood right quick. Oh yeah. Good power. Oh man, this thing is a blast. I like it. I like it a lot. Could anybody ride this bike? Yes. And that 3.5 gallon, 3.5 is, so far as a gallon tank, that is the perfect size. Not too big, you know, nobody likes the really big ones. But the 3.5 gallons is like perfect for this tank. So that's that'll let you get pretty much wherever you want to very well. It'll take you there. So you can probably get, let's say you're getting 50 miles to the gallon, which I want to say this one, the fuel economy on this guy is probably like 48, somewhere around there. So, you know, let's just round it. Let's just say if you get 50, you know, you'll get over 150 miles out of the tank. So it's a good spot where if you want to tour with it, you can kind of stretch out with it, take it far, take it down Florida or something. Yeah, I'd make a couple more gas stops, but it's not like the 2-gallon tank on the Sportster 48. So yeah, if you're just doing a little, you might fill up twice a week or something like that. If you're doing a lot, if this is your daily commuter bike. Other than that, do very well. And now we sit behind the Campus Crossings bike or bus there. And we'll kind of roll on back a little bit. This bike doesn't have cruise control, which is big sad, unfortunate, but it's made to be more of a bobber, kind of run around places. So I want you to be on it. Let's see. Yeah, I think I already went through everything. It's got your clock, fuel gauge, all that fun stuff. Looks good. The wrinkled black on it all over looks good. Black it out. It's even got the little black bullet turn signals. Yeah, it really lets you sit back pretty good. See anything else exciting on this? The fuel cap is on the center, so if you big OCD and you want it symmetrical, you have it. There you go. Congrats. Yeah, I mean it's a nice, comfortable riding position. I feel like I'm like sitting on the edge of a bench, just like chatting. The way I've got my leg position here, you know, just kind of like, hello. Let me tell you about this motorcycle here today. It's cool. It's a Street Bob. It's a 2018. It's solid. It whips around pretty well. I don't think this bus is going to lean as hard as we're going to try to up here. I'm also not going to pass them, so sorry. Instead, we're going to enjoy a nice cruise, enjoying the fall foliage out here of the NC State Centennial campus. This is always a nice little place to drop in and ride a little bit. Of course, you want to take it easy because there's a lot of students running around, stuff like that. A lot of foot traffic, and you got to kind of keep it slow. But we are going to try to lean as hard as we can on this turn. So if I take it out here, oh yeah, he's moving on over for me, which means, thank you, sir. Bad memories in that apartment complex. Not knocking it, but that's the one place my bike got knocked over, was in their parking lot. That was a fun time. I'll give that story another day. So whenever I see that, I'm always like, oh no, my bike. And I think they're parking. Alrighty. Yeah, this thing's fun. We're gonna go make a ride out of here just because, like I said, we ain't got that much gas. And no need to really whip it down to even ferry. Also, Good luck getting that light to turn for us. Watch it turn green right when we get here. Oh, sporty gang. Respect. Let me go get him. We're on the hunt for the Sportster. Oh no! I think he's gonna turn. Has he got his legs, those chaps? Interesting. Odd mirrors. Give him that. Shame. I was gonna wave at him. Like half chaps. Like knee guards? Knee guards. Respect. Respect. Rocking all the gear. Yeah, so this thing's quick. This thing will, you wanna go catch up to somebody, you can. If you're looking to start on a new bike and you don't want a Sportster such as that, you want something it's a little bit more stable. I think you'll like this one. It's just a little bit heavier, or it just kind of has a little bit more stable of a platform. You know, from a distance, really, the Dynas always looked like big Sportsters because they both had those exposed rear shocks, giving it that good sporty look. But with a little bit of a lift in the rear on these bikes, you can get, with a little bit of a lift in the rear of these bikes, and you get a little more of that fender gap. These bikes do look very, very sporty. It's always an interesting direction to take these bikes. Either go sporty, make them real sporty, or make them more bobberish, kind of lean on the tank a little bit more. Always good options there. So I will take you around the long way though, this way. So we'll go party down Lake Wheeler, really test that rear suspension for you. Street Glide, we'll wave at him. Oh yeah. So since I do have the mids on bumps, I can kind of like rise up a little bit if I need to. You know, if I'm gonna hit this bump, I can kind of bring myself forward on a little bit more. Not too bad. Oh, what chipper going? What chipper go? That's cool. I could just watch that all day. But we need to watch the road. Stay attention. So, one thing I have noticed though is people's driving has gotten weirder around Raleigh. So, if there's a time more than ever to stay vigilant out here, stay vigilant. You know, ride, enjoy it, soak it up, but stay alert. You have some advantages of being on a bike, so you can see better. Sometimes you can squeeze your way out of situations a little bit better if you need to. Let's soak in Raleigh. Gorgeous. But you're also exposed more, so you really gotta stay vigilant. Stay look down the road, look at the road, look left to right. Always anticipate somebody moving. Watch the other cars, and of course, you know, just take your time. Sometimes the best thing you can do instead of shooting around somebody, you know, just take a minute, wait. Take a minute, relax, wait a second. So, but also have fun, you know, enjoy yourself. Riding to have fun, you know, get that freedom, relax, get out there. And here we are. Ooh, an officer behind us. It's the first time I've seen that on a demo ride. Ooh. Not that we're doing anything wrong. You always get nervous there. It was like, ooh, what am I doing wrong? Alright, yeah, we'll whip this bike over here. Gonna do some fun stuff with it. Hype it up, all that stuff. So, yeah, this is the Softail Street Bob. Super fun bike. I love this thing. This thing was good. Like I said, you know, there's a lot of fun directions to take this bike. Actually, kickstand goes down all the way, but it's gorgeous. I love it. That blacked out look all over. Yeah, she's a ton of fun. So, if you haven't seen this bike, come out here to Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson. in Raleigh, North Carolina, and see this bike for yourself. In the meantime, we hope you ride safe, and we hope to see you out here sometime soon.